Hello, my name is Skye Taylor, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been painting since 1960. That's probably before most of you were born. Actually, it was in the very first grade. I painted my very first picture, and from that point on, I was completely hooked. Now, I've done work for celebrities, and my paintings are collected internationally all over the world. But let's talk a little bit about painting. Now, no matter what you do, whether it's being realistic or you're doing abstracts, be true to yourself. Do what you feel. Don't do what sells. Do what you want to do. That's the whole thing. And if it sells, that's great. If it doesn't, you satisfy yourself. Don't try to please others. A lot of people will buy art because it matches their sofa or matches a cushion in the room. You know, and that's probably the worst way to look at art. But a lot of people do it that way. Interior designers and everything, they'll match a painting. A lot of people paint trees. Okay, everybody's painted a tree, but don't get hooked up because trees sell that you're going to paint trees. Paint what you want to paint. Back in high school, the most simplest rule of all in painting, and I failed to see it. I was doing it, but I didn't see it. And that was, my art teacher said, and you probably already know this, and I was young and I was naive. Wherever there's light, there's dark. If you remember that, you're going to be a good artist. Look around your room. Take a look around your room. Everything is either light or dark. Everything has contrasts. And when you're painting abstracts, I'm going to tell you, when I first started painting, I mean, I've been painting, like I said, since 1960. It's probably the last, 10 years I totally understood them. I never understood abstracts. Could never figure it out. I'll never forget when Picasso gave the sculpture to Chicago, and it's in the Daly Center. I could not figure this thing out. I looked at it. I didn't get it. I did not get it. Because I was brought up looking at art as, if it was realistic, it was only art if it was realistic. If it was an apple, it had to look like an apple. I totally did not understand abstracts. But as I got older, then all of a sudden things started coming together. Abstracts are not easy to paint. They are not easy. It's not a bunch of throwing on colors and wow, it looks great. Oh no, it's a lot harder than that. To begin with, what you have to do is totally understand colors in order to do it. Now, I'm learning every day. I'm not the world's best artist, and I'm definitely not the world's worst. I'm making a living at it, so I can't be too bad. But there's millions of people that are probably better than I am. But what sets me apart from them is I think outside the box. I don't try to do what the normal person does. If you go on SkyeTaylorGalleries.etsy.com. Scroll through my work and you'll see an assortment of all different things. I'm always thinking outside the box and always creating something new. And that's what you have to do as an artist. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I don't care because I'm doing what I want to do. Not what somebody else dictates me to do. And that's what you have to do as an artist. Be true to yourself. Another thing you have to get rid of is fear. You can't have fear going in. You can't be afraid. Now, there's going to be days when you're going to look at that canvas and nothing's going to happen. Don't push it. If nothing happens, walk away. Go watch a movie. Go do something else. Because when that creative energy flow is right, you are going to create. There's days when I look at a canvas and I'm totally blanked out. I walk away from it. And then there's days when I'll paint 20 hours straight, non-stop, because the energy is there and the flow is there, and I'm there, creating. And after it's all done, I'll step back and look at that art, and can't believe I did it. Because it's something I just didn't know I did. Because you get in that zone. Now, some people, to get in the zone, they play music. Now, I'm a musician myself. I had a recording studio. I built a recording studio. I've done CDs, but I hated music when I was painting. I had to have complete quiet to concentrate. But that has all changed in the last, maybe, when I started doing abstracts, probably the last few years. Now I'll put on music and listen to it. I like everything from Tony Bennett to rock and roll or whatever. And the music does influence the art. It makes a difference. But it took me a while because I can only do one thing at a time, which most men can only do. Any woman will tell you. Women can do multitasking. Men can just focus on one thing at a time. They have to get that thing done. And if a man can multitask, he's amazing. I've seen one guy in my whole life that could multitask. And I've seen plenty of women that can't either. So, but when I play the music, then I get into the zone and it just happens. I let myself go. You have to be free from worries. You can't worry about the bill, the electric bill. You have to try to focus and disconcern yourself with your surroundings. Pick a spot where you're completely private. You tell your wife, honey, look, don't bother me when I'm painting. If I'm painting, don't bother me. Now, I'm in a basement. I'm under my kitchen. I've got a 2,500 square foot basement. I chose a little corner. Happens to be over the kitchen. I've got a 95-year-old dad that lives with me. And he bangs in and out, and that distracts me sometimes. But I have to step back and let him live, you know. I can't stop him from living. But that's how sensitive things are when you're in that zone. You can't have any distractions. You have to be completely lost in what you're doing. And if something breaks the focus, it alters the painting. So sometimes I'll paint late at night when everybody's asleep, so I don't hear walking above me. But I've been blessed. I have a humongous studio. I do. But I choose to work in a little bitty corner because that's my comfort. And that's what I feel comfort. And I've got my little radio going, my CDs. And I play all my music. And I found out that certain CDs I produce better paintings with. Now for me, it's the Doors. Who would think the Doors? I mean, I was okay with the Doors, but with the Doors, I can really create. I mean, there's music that puts me in my zone. And there's a few other. Now, if I want to paint gentle, like if I'm painting portraits of that, I'm a Tony Bennett fan. I like Tony Bennett. It's just relaxing, easygoing music. My paintings take a different turn. Now, many a times I've started out with a canvas. I started out just recently, which you'll see in the future. I started out painting an abstract. I took my white canvas and I drew all my abstract lines and I'm ready to do this abstract. And all of a sudden I'm standing there and it's not what I saw. I started painting people over that because that's the way it went. And in my mind it was going to be 4 men. And it ended up being 4 women because that's the way it took me. I just went with the flow. Whatever was happening was happening. I didn't plan this. That was not what I wanted to do. But that's not where I ended up. I ended up completely different of what. And you'll see that painting. It's going to be called America Divided. It's going to be a 4-panel. And it's an amazing painting. And it's realistic painting of people. And I can't wait to show it to you. But I can't show it to you right now. But it's amazing how you start out in one direction and you end up in another. And that's what art's all about. You go with the flow. You don't try to stop it. You don't try to stop it. If you're going in one direction, just let it happen. Don't get the mail before you paint, because if you got bad news in the mail, that's going to affect the way you paint. You have to be able to tune yourself out. I mean, if there's a bill due or something, you know, you don't want to hear about it. You want to try to tune yourself out and get in that zone. And that's what's important. You have to be true to yourself. And just relax and enjoy the painting and approach the painting. And don't be afraid to make a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. There are no mistakes when you're painting. I'm going to tell you why. You're painting in acrylic or you're painting in oil. It can always be painted over again. So don't be afraid to put that color in there. And remember, light against dark. And if you don't do anything else, get a color wheel. Look at the different colors. Look at the complementary colors, because that's going to turn you around and make you a better artist. When you understand that certain colors work with certain colors, the complementary colors. You don't want to put a brown against a black. There's no pop there. You want colors that pop, light against dark. And be true to your cause and go for it. And don't be afraid. All mistakes can be painted over. Just create and enjoy yourself. And once you get in that zone and you relax and you forget about everything and you do what you want to do, you're going to be a happy person. You're going to be a very happy person. Well, I hope that helped you a little bit. My name's Skye Taylor. Go and paint and do that masterpiece because you have it in you. Everybody has it in them. It's just some people don't know how to bring it out. So with those tips, I hope that you create that masterpiece. God bless you. My name's Skye Taylor. Thank you for watching.